What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Sloppy Saturdays. And today we are talking about Ryan Williams' major groundbreaking NIL deal with Nike. We're talking about him in very exclusive company as only the second college football athlete to sign an NIL deal with Nike. We're going to talk about how this affects Ryan Williams, what Ryan Williams was able to do to secure this type of NIL deal, and how this affects Nike at all and why Nike chose Ryan Williams. Let's get right into it now. Ryan Williams, like I said, is the second college football athlete to sign an NIL deal with Nike. The first one was actually Shedeur Sanders last year, signed an NIL deal with Nike. Now, he also joins a group of college athletes to do this, such as Caitlin Clark as well, was another recently. Now, let's get into why I think this NIL deal is perfect for Ryan Williams and Nike, and why Ryan Williams has basically done everything to secure this deal. Now, it seems like to me, with Shedeur Sanders being the first and Ryan Williams being the second, it is not just all about Nike signing the best college football athlete. Like, there are a handful of players that people may think are better than Ryan Williams in the sport of college football. It is really about Nike signing somebody with not only a unique personality and outgoing personality, a personality made for ads and for the camera, such as Ryan Williams, but they're also signing somebody that is making the most out of this new generation of college football, of this NIL marketing. When you talk about Ryan Williams and what he has going for him, what he does on social media, how he engages with fans, the content he makes, he has his own podcast as well. Like, you're talking about a guy that knows how to work mainstream media, new NIL. And Ryan Williams is a guy that also has multiple other NIL brands that make up his evaluation. When you talk about, he is with a nail polish brand, Sally Hansen. He's with Hollister. He's on EA Sports. Obviously, him and Jeremiah Smith are on the cover. So he is doing everything he possibly can to secure the most amount of money in college football with his personality, with the content he makes. And I think that's what really secured this Nike deal for him. But when you look at, like I said, Shedeur Sanders and Ryan Williams, you're talking about two guys that are widely recognizable faces in college football, but also have a unique personality and what they bring to college football. So I think that's really what secured this Nike deal for him. I absolutely love it for him. And he has a $2.7 million NIL evaluation right now with his Inc. partnerships. That is not including this Nike deal. This Nike deal is going to be skyrocket his NIL evaluation. He's going to be at the top of college football with this evaluation, because when you partner with the biggest sports brand in Nike, this is going to be $1 million plus NIL deal per year. So it's going to put him at the top of college football for the NIL evaluation for sure. But not only that, it really holds him in elite company in college football. For Nike to be able to choose him out of everybody they could have chose, Ryan Williams is in elite company. He really marks himself and secures himself in the status of the best in college football with this partnership with Nike. Now, another thing I do have to say as well for Ryan Williams and this Nike deal is that not only does it put him in elite company, but it really shows what Nike is trying to do, how they want personality in their campaign, like I just mentioned. The other thing that is very big about this Nike NIL deal that I really wanted to mention is that Alabama is a Nike school. I think this is absolutely huge. We saw in this past year with Cooper Flag, he signed with New Balance, but Duke is a Nike school, so he had to wear Nikes on the court. It is very big to me that Nike signed a Alabama athlete that is also a Nike school, so he could be representing Nike on the field, because this is where you're seeing the athlete the most, on the field, on the court. And I feel like if Alabama was, a Under Armour school, or if they were a Adidas school, this probably wouldn't have happened. Now that Alabama is a Nike school, it does not really put any damper on this partnership. He's going to be able to wear Nike everywhere. And I think when he is making the biggest plays of the college football season, to be doing it in Nikes is a major factor to this partnership. Again, you partner with somebody that's from an Adidas school or from an Under Armour school, things get sticky because you're not allowed to wear their brand on the field. And I think that's a big part of the deal. Like, you want to see your athlete perform in your shoes. And I think that was a damper on Cooper Flagg's deal. And I think it is a huge thing for Ryan Williams' deal. So that's the one major thing I wanted to talk about. And I think that could eventually change. I think you could eventually see something very similar to the NBA where it doesn't matter what brand makes a jersey. You're going to be able to rock whatever you want on the court, on the field. I think that's a thing that should change in college football. Now, when we see more and more deals happen between these major brands and these college athletes, maybe that's a thing they could discuss. Like, hey, if you're a Nike school, but you're an Adidas athlete, you could still wear Adidas on the field. That's going to be something that we're going to have to look out for in the next upcoming years in college football. But to sum it up, I absolutely love what Nike is doing. They're bringing out people who have the biggest personalities and making the most of this new age college football NIL era. And I believe that's why they signed Ryan Williams. That wraps up this episode of College Football Sloppy Saturdays. Drop down what you think of Ryan Williams and this NIL deal, and Sloppy Saturdays is out.